Brantford Kia Studio, we are taking a look at the 2022 Hyundai Tucson Ultimate. This is the top of the line hybrid. It's hard to get. Right now, the order times are a long ways away. And if you're just watching for the very first time and you just want to see something cool, in a couple minutes, we're going to drive this car without anybody in it. We're just going to use the key fob that's going to move forward. All its own is going to back up. It's kind of cool. So we're going to do that in a second. What do we do here? Every single weekday, we do go live from this video bay, and we spend about a half an hour going in depth on a vehicle. So you really get to see things that other videos aren't showing you. That's what we're going to do with this video as well. But if you're not live with us and you just want to get to that content, you can skip ahead to the 3-minute mark if you want, and that'll be when we get into the content. In the meantime, we're going to talk about some news, some notes. We're going to show you how to join us live if you want, and we're going to do that right now. All right, let's flip the camera around here, and you can see I got my water with me today. I got a little bit of a scratchy throat just a minute ago, so make sure I drink. All right, if you want to join us live, there's our YouTube channel. We've got sort of the standard video there. If you refresh our page exactly at 2 o'clock, which is what we're doing right now, you will see the live video takes over that video pane there. You can see the little live video right there. Click into that. As we click into that, you're going to watch a quick ad, and instead, I'm going to make you watch an ad that I run. I am terrible at running ads, and that's partly why this is entertaining. All right, if you are looking to buy a car in Ontario, connect with me. There'll be a link in the description after this video. You can reach out to me and we'll connect you with either Brantford Hyundai, Owen Sound Hyundai, or Brantford Kia. Those are the 3 dealers that support this channel. They're really great and fun little dealership story. I was just picking this up at the Hyundai dealer, and one of the salespeople came up to me and he thanked me for my videos because you guys are watching them. And he had a customer who saw my videos, came into the store, loved the buying experience, and actually when he was we call it delivery of the vehicle, which is when the salesperson goes over the, gives you your car and goes over the vehicle with you. He's like, nah, I don't need to. We'll just watch the Kia Hyundai channel for that. So if you're that person, thanks for doing that. Happens all the time. So if you're from out of market and you're looking to buy from us, we can treat you like a local customer. Do that all the time. All right, 1 minute to go before that 3-minute mark. Kia EV6, orders open tomorrow. I just put a video up, and that video is on our YouTube channel. It basically talks about how to order it. You have to order it through the kia.ca website. You can order it at noon tomorrow. So noon on Friday the 22nd of October. Yeah, excuse me there. Friday the 22nd. And I don't have a ton of details, but everything I do know, I put into that video. And if you're in Ontario, select us as your dealer. I promise you your ownership experience will be better than it could be anywhere else. That's my promise to you. What else is going on? I don't know. It's been a very, very, very busy time for me today. So I'm just scrambling to get caught up here. There's a lot going on behind the scenes. Those of you that just want to know what's coming up in future Kia World, Kia Hyundai World, we're going to the LA Auto Show. So when we go to the LA Auto Show, we'll cover everything in detail. All right, we're past that 3-minute mark. Real quick reminder to our regular subscribers, if you haven't hit the like button, do that already. If you are not regularly subscribed with us, don't worry about it. We'll try to earn your like throughout this video. All right, this vehicle, very first thing you need to know about it is it's hard to get. And that's part of why we do these videos. Even I had a tough time getting it for this video. This one happens to be sold, so we're going to take a risk with it in a minute when we drive it without a driver inside of it. But if you order this vehicle today, currently the order weight on this one is it will be built in March and take 6 to 8 weeks delivery from there. Automotive world is crazy right now, and this car is in high demand. It is what it is. So if you're in a lease, that's just really good information. And if you're looking for someone to say, hey, I'm going to give it to you earlier, my job's to tell you the truth. That's what we do here. So it's a long wait for this car, and I kind of feel like it might be worth it. So you can decide for me if this is for yourself, if this is something you think is worth waiting for, because it's pretty nice. And again, if you're in a lease, keep these things in mind as you may need to talk to your dealer a little earlier than you would otherwise. All right, let's do some fun stuff with it first. This one is top of the line, has Smart Park. What is Smart Park? It drives by itself, kind of, sort of, a little bit. Really just parks by itself. So the key fob, again, still covered in the plastic here. So what we're going to do is we're going to lock the door. We're going to remote start it. Now we can do this inside because it's a hybrid. I know that for a fact the gasoline engine shouldn't start. I think I turned the climate system off. If the climate system was on, sometimes it would start. So now it's remote started, which means the climate's going. Let's drive it forward. See this little P button there? We're going to drive it forward for a second. Oh, there it goes. Parking brakes off, and it's going forward without a driver stopping. And we're going to go backwards now. Hit this button right here, hold it down. Going to drive it backwards. How cool is this? If your car's in a real tight parking spot, it's backing up all on its own. Isn't that crazy? Smart Park. So let's just turn the car off again by holding or turning off the button there. It's turned itself off, parking brake is on, and you can just see it had a little green light there telling me it's doing its thing. How cool is that? I drove it inside. Now, if you're outside, you got a lot more room to work with, but if you need to take it out of your garage, yeah, somebody asked me a great question. Is this hybrid or PHEV yet? And I get asked regularly when the PHEV version is coming. Last I checked was December. I couldn't check with my contacts there when I picked this up. He was in a meeting. So I'll try to find out more up to date. But I hope to have it here by December. If that flexes, obviously as soon as we have it, we'll have it up on film or up on video here for you. So again, Smart Park. The reason I want to show you that off the top is, one, I wanted to either make or break my video with that. And this, like I said, this is a sold car that we can't get again until like April or May next year. So if I crashed it, I wanted to do it on live video and hopefully get millions of hits, because that might be the last video I ever make. Anyway, so we did that, and the other reason is I'm going to put this in my pocket now. The only other thing I can show you that's automated here on the key fob is I can hold this button down and the trunk can open because it is a powered tailgate, and we can stop it part way and we can put it back down by just using the key fob again there. So after that, what I'm doing is taking this key fob, putting it in my pocket, and I never have to pull it out for the rest of the video. So there we go. Yeah, somebody says, or pay for the damages in ad revenue. That's, trust me, there would be a very clickbaity title if I crashed this car through the wall on live video, because I would need to pay for it somehow, and I'm sure the customer would just be fine with waiting for another several months after waiting for who knows how many months to get this. All right, this vehicle is one I like. You guys all know that I really like the Santa Cruz. This one has the same interior as the Santa Cruz. I think this is a better value than the Santa Cruz and probably a better vehicle for most people compared to the Santa Cruz. And again, I say that as a huge Santa Cruz fan. So again, Santa Cruz and Tucson share the basic components of a platform. This one here is $41,599 MSRP. Compared that to about $44,599 or so. So basically, just a hair under $45,000 is the top of the line Santa Cruz, which supposedly shares the same platform. Although it does share the same platform, I think a lot of people are confused by what that means. It is a highly modified platform to fit between different vehicles. I do think, even though I am a Santa Cruz fan, this is a better value, and we'll talk about why. First of all, this one, as a trim line, is only available as a hybrid, and you get some interesting things going on here. Here's Kia Canada, or Hyundai Canada's website. You have to excuse me, I've been doing Kia stuff most of the morning here, so I'm on a couple different things. Here's your horsepower, 227 and 258. Obviously less than the Santa Cruz, which has 281 and 311 for comparative numbers, but the fuel efficiency on this vehicle is excellent. 6.3 and 6.6. Doesn't really matter if you're going highway or city, you're gonna get basically around that mid-6 mark for liters per 100 kilometers according to their stats there. So again, just easy to live with vehicle. You've got more power than you would with the base Tucson. You've got more efficiency than you would with the base Tucson. And you're getting a few more things than something like the Santa Cruz, which again has a shared and actually beefed up platform, but you have these parking sensors out front. Those little dots right there, there's several of them. We'll show you how they work on the inside. Those of you comparing the front grille to a Santa Cruz, the Santa Cruz has a little bit more space in there. Oops, my light turned off. Let me just go get the light back on. I got some cars blocking my motion sensor light today because it's pouring rain outside. So we have to jam a few extra cars in here. But the Santa Cruz has a little bit more spacing between the lights, and it actually has 3 lights up. This one's got 4 lights up. So this all section will light up here. And it looks, when it's off, just like the regular grille. You really can't tell the difference. The camera actually does a better job telling the difference than my eyes will do. We'll look at lighting in a minute here, but keep in mind those little parking sensors on the front here, again, not something you have on something like the Santa Cruz. So really good value here because you're gaining a hybrid, which is usually more expensive, but you're also gaining some features. Now, of course, you don't have that pickup bed, but when you talk about shared platform, that's pretty cool. Okay, my biggest nemesis is those auto lights. You're not kidding. Back over here, we're going to take a look. Hey, there's Tim Gross, everyone. He's the general manager here at Brantford Kia.
Hey, guys.
He's skipping out for lunch, and that's why he's taking the shortcut through my video.
Exactly.
All right, Tim, we can order the EV6 tomorrow,
Yes, sir.
and we want you to choose our dealership.
Yes.
There's no way around that.
By
So,
postal code.
yeah, by postal code.
By
So we
postal
have that in our video. There we go.
Yeah.
Another little Kia ad in the Hyundai video. All right, let's keep going here. Through the back here again, we're going to show you lighting a little in the future, but you can also see, whoa, where are we? Oh, there's backup sensors there somewhere. Oh, maybe there's not. Only front parking sensors? Oh, I did not know that. All right, let's take a look inside and start at some of the differences here before we work our way outside. First of all, as I approach the vehicle, you can see the little light reflecting off the door handle there on my fingers. There's a little light in the door handle, which again is activated because it senses me with the key nearby. Doors locked. Ignore some of the yellow sticker type stuff. There's also some white stickers in here. If the interior doesn't look the way you think it should, it probably is just that shipping plastic. There's a lot of it in this car. And again, because this is a sold car, I literally didn't have time to go get this till just minutes before our video. So I didn't have time to peel some of the plastic that I like to peel off. But let's take a look in here anyways. All right, as I jump in here, the comfort access seat is what we call it. Moves my seat forward. We're going to turn the vehicle fully on, which we never usually do, but because it's a hybrid, if we keep the climate reasonable, actually the climate was on in here, it won't necessarily start. I do want to show up here the panoramic roof. You can see when it's closed, you really don't notice it. When it's open, it's massive. So when we're talking about, again, that shared platform with the Santa Cruz, hybrids usually cost more. This hybrid costs less than the Santa Cruz. Big sunroofs usually cost more. This one, of course, you can get it for less. Santa Cruz only has a smaller sunroof in here. The other couple little differences between the Santa Cruz while we're here is, and the reason I point out Santa Cruz especially now is the Santa Cruz Limited, or sorry, Santa Cruz Ultimate, which is in Canada, the top line version, shares this interior for the most part. Now, there are a couple differences in here. You do have on the Santa Cruz a cell phone holder that goes this way and has a smaller spot here. This one, you don't see the wireless charger because it's not here. It's actually here. So it's kind of leaned back sort of towards driver. It actually works very well to hold your phone in place. It's ventilated there, so it has a fast charging system. And of course, you can put it there, which means you can put a second phone down here. Santa Cruz, you don't have the room to do that. And the other thing is the ambient lighting is down here as well, which you don't have on the Santa Cruz. And the reason you don't have it there is because when we talk about shared interior, this one has a pocket here where the Santa Cruz doesn't. And I don't know if that's because it has a different transmission, maybe a larger transmission area that needs to use that space. But there's a pocket on both driver and passenger side down here. So the ambient lighting in this vehicle shines in the door there, which you can clearly see it's blue, and in the center here, which is the same thing as the Santa Cruz. And then in both sides of the center column here, you have the ambient lighting in a little pocket here. So you have quite a bit more interior storage practicality in this than you do Santa Cruz. Everything else, pretty much the same as the Santa Cruz. So if you like that car, you're gonna like this one. Now, some differences are because of the drivetrain differences. And this is a 10.25 inch screen display, no hood on here, and there's really no issue at all with glare at all. And actually there is some glare right now because there's a plastic panel on there that protects it. So we're gonna take that off for now. But no real issue with glare, with sunlight, anything. I can see that gauge, this system clearly. Right here, you have your typical hybrid gauge. We've talked about that yesterday. We're going to talk about this more tomorrow. As you're charging, the vehicle will come down here to charge. As you're accelerating, it'll come up here. So how do you charge on a regular hybrid? If you don't know a whole lot about hybrids, I probably should have done a better job explaining it. We'll maybe do that in another video. Basically, you drive this like a normal car. It just works on its own to get great efficiency. That's all you need to know as far as driving. The technical side of things means when the engine runs, or when you're coasting, or when you're braking, or all three combined, you end up having the battery charge itself to assist with the gasoline engine with electric motors, and that's what you get the efficiency from. You never have to plug a hybrid in. Plug-in hybrid, you will have to plug in. So when you have that, you just have a little extra gauge here that tells you what's going on. If you prefer a tachometer, you can switch this to a tachometer. There's a lot of options in here. One thing I really like is when I signal, you can see my blind spot. Now, it's actually not really much of a blind spot. You have good sized mirrors over here. You can see my teddy bear. You can see my TV. You can see lots of things. There's blind spot detection with that little, it'll be a red lit up triangle there if there's somebody in your blind spot. But you also have the ability to actually see the blind spot more so than a shoulder check, which again, if I'm shoulder checking, I'm looking over my shoulder, you can see there's going to be obstructions, and that's not because the car is poorly laid out, it's just because it's a car. These vehicles, you know, they're going to have some blind spots. So same thing, when I signal right, or when I signal left, you'll saw it. When I signal right, the right side disappears, and you can see exactly what's in your blind spot, which I find to be extremely helpful. I feel like way more vehicles should have this. And one of the cool things about this system is it uses a camera in a completely different way. So you can see here, let's just look at one more time. When I signal to the right now, I'm clearly looking behind me. You can see the left or the right side of the car and behind me that wall. Now check out the camera system over here. It uses the exact same camera system to show you your rear view camera, but now it's essentially in that mirror looking straight down. So the computer stitches these things together in different ways. Backup camera here, 360 camera here, which you can zoom in and out of if you want to. You can see our black wall there. You can see things a little bit off skew there a little bit, but you'll never run into anything if you're paying attention to these. And of course, when I turn the wheel, it tells you exactly where the car is going to swing, which is super helpful. And then the thing that I really like is when you put it in drive at slow speeds, you now have the front camera and you can see the same thing. Not just where the front is going to go, but where the side is going to swing in there. So really good use of camera systems here. The other thing that's really good on this vehicle, and this is really across the Kia Hyundai lineup, is things like our lane follow and lane keeping assist. These driver assistance type features that actually can take a little bit of control of the car from you. Not from you, you're in charge of it, but they are able to, for instance, steer the car, center down a lane, following vehicles in front of you, following the lane markers, keeping it centered. That system in this vehicle works fantastic. So highway drive assist, lane follow assist, lane keeping assist. We can go through what those mean in probably another video, but those are really good safety features that are class leading in Hyundai and Kia vehicles. So really smart to have that there. Let's just take a quick peek in a couple of the other little things on this big screen here. Now, if you watch a review on this vehicle, people are going to compare because there's no volume knob, and they're going to go on and say, well, Honda went without a volume knob and they had to go back to a volume knob. Yeah, automotive reviewers like to complain about this. What they don't point out to you is if you want to, the only thing we use a volume knob for, like most of the time, we're changing our volume right here. Like we all know this, right? Turn our radios on, turn our radio off by hitting that button right there, right? We go up or down. Now, if you saw us going down, and you say you don't want to do that, you just want to be able to spin that knob to mute it, well, that's no problem. Let's turn it on for a second. Hold it up. It's very loud. Press that button and it's muted. You don't need a volume knob anymore, guys. So any auto tell you that they need a volume knob, turn it all the way down there. The reason that auto reviewers need volume knobs is because they have a new car every week and they don't like to learn new things. You're going to drive this car for about 2 days and go, oh yeah, that's how I'm going to do it now. And it's not going to be a problem. So don't let anybody convince you that you need a volume knob if you don't. And the other thing is this is nice and easy to clean now without volume knobs and switches. They all work very well. The second you touch it, they turn on and off. So no matter what you touch, it's the exact same thing. And you know, they complain, oh, you have to take your eyes off the road to see these things. Meanwhile, they'll praise large screens. Well, guess what? When you have to take your eyes off the road to see large screens and hit things as well, so you do the map up there, and actually the map's harder to hit. I'm right-handed. You can easily hit it on here just as easily, and you can see it's just as there because nothing moved. So it's easy to hit these things. You don't need physical buttons for feedback. It works very well, and I'm willing to fight anybody who reviews cars for a living and votes differently. The other thing that's also easy to get used to is people say, oh, I don't like the push button gear shift. And again, a day in this car and you get used to it. What it really does though is it clears up a lot of space here and you have the feeling of some good openness. Again, you can put your phone there, you can put your cup here. You've got great openness. And then of course you have down here your ventilated seats, your heated seats, your heated steering wheel, hill descent control, parking sensors you can turn on or off. The camera, if you just want to pull up the camera and take a peek out back, you can do that, or even peek around the car here. Press the button to display the camera view, press and hold to activate parking assist system. So again, you can hold it, and now you can do different things for parking assist. So we'll talk about that in another video when we have this car, but we're gonna just leave that off for now. Oh, we'll go to the cancel, there we go. So you can press that button there, let's just go to close. All right, so again, that button there does bring up the camera if you just want to see that without having to be in reverse. You can see we're in park. The other thing I want to point out is drive and terrain modes. In the United States, you don't have these terrain modes. In Canada, you do. So you can see drive modes, we can flip this switch, and you'll show you that in a second. Terrain modes, you can flip down here, so you can see that. Let's just go through them really quickly for a second. In Canada, Eco, Sport, and Smart. Now, you only have really three different gauge clusters there. And you can see as you're watching the gauge on the right, we go to sport mode. It could be just the eco mode. Sometimes it'll be this car is set up by default without the tachometer. You could put the tachometer in there if you wanted to. Now, when I hit the terrain modes, you have snow, which is that, and you have mud and sand. Any one of these you could set up for the tachometer to be here instead, but you have drive modes that work with specific conditions for what you're actually driving in, and that works very well. And again, they don't get this in the United States. And why don't we really quickly take a quick peek at one thing over here. Let's just take the camera off, go back to the home, we'll go to the vehicle setup, and then I'll show you just one quick thing you can do. And then we're gonna go take your questions. Where are we? Cluster right over here. Let's go to the select theme, because this is pretty fun. You can see it's linked to the drive mode right now, which is what we did. If you just want to choose, whoops, take it off there. If you just want to go classic theme, there's your classic theme. That's classic A. Classic B is the sport mode. Classic C is this mode. And then you can also have the cube mode, which is kind of cool. Not for everybody, but I like that they do something different. And of course you can put your digital speedometer up here if you wanted to, and then you can change this to whatever you want. But it's kind of a cool system there. So we're just going to leave it on link to the drive mode because I don't want to mess with someone's car that they just bought, but pretty cool system in there. All right, a lot more I can show you with this car. Where are we headed next? I'm going to go take your questions now. I'm going to go show you rear seat and trunk seat space. We're going to take a look at some lighting, and we'll go through your questions. So there we go. Is everything the same as in the petrol model? No. This is the top of the line ultimate version. So it's limited, I believe, in the States. The ultimate version in Canada. It's going to have features that the gasoline only, so non-hybrid model, will not have, simply because it's the top of the line. Somebody just asked me about Digital Key. Digital Key is an Android app or an Android phone that can unlock the door. And in Canada, we don't have that. That's why I never show it on my videos. So I get asked about that a lot. Why didn't you show the digital key? We don't actually have that in Canada. Usually we have better features in the United States, and something like our drive terrain mode, you can see that. But digital key, we do not have. All right, gonna go take your questions. We're only at 37 likes, got about 80 people on. We should easily be able to hit 80 likes today. So let's see if we can get to 80 likes, and we'll jump over to there. And some people apparently get mad when I ask for likes, but let me just explain likes for a second. If you like this video and you want to see more of them, you liking this video, like physically hitting the like button, will spread it to more people like you that will then watch it. When we get lots of views on certain things, we try to prioritize those types of videos. So that's what we're going to do. It helps you as much as it helps us for obviously growing our channel, which is obviously the goal. We want to reach more people and give them information. And the other thing is, if I'm going to give you half an hour of my time and I only ask for this much of your time, that seems like a fair trade, right? Okay, let me go back over here to curious about the availability of I think you meant HD radio data in Canada. In the US, this feature provides live traffic, weather, and fuel prices. Is this still available in Canada? Yes. I usually show the Doppler radar map with that, but yes, live traffic, those kinds of things, it is available here in Canada. It should be in this car. We can show that to you later if we have some time. Très bon voiture en route, c'est super. So it's a very good car, and it's en route, and it's super. That's my rough French translation for people who are reading the French visitor we have here. Okay, where are we here? A couple more questions, some comments going on. Fuel economy difference between US and Canada, looked at in the window sticker. Yes, Canada's miles per gallon, or MPG, let me just show you quickly. We measure our fuel efficiency in liters per 100 kilometers. So that's liters per 100 kilometers. Our miles per gallon are different than your miles per gallon. So if you're American, don't look at the 44 necessarily. It's probably a different test. It might be actually even a different gallon. We look at liters per 100 kilometers in Canada. So take this, convert it to American miles per gallon, and you'll have a pretty accurate view of what it should be if you're in the States. You can Google that. I don't do math in my head on live videos. It just seems like a much better idea for you and for me. So that's why I don't have that. So yeah, good call. There are some differences there. Okay, where are we here? Lots of discussion going on, but I don't see a ton of questions. Does the smart park function offer any steering, or is it forward and backward also? Oh, and is there obstacle detection? So again, we showed you that smart park feature. Why don't we just do it again for a second? Smart park feature, got to lock the car first, got to remote start it second, which it's doing right now. It starts, and then I can use it. Now, if I stand anywhere from where I'm standing, if I stand in the front wheel, back wheel, it's going to not work. It has those parking sensors, it has the different sensors. If I just stand even behind the car, like way over here where Teddy Bear is, it will not move. If I stay really still where I am, it will actually drive, which you can see. But if it senses some movement, or if it senses things in the way, it will actually stop. And you can see the second I let go of this key fob here, it's going to go backwards now. The second I let go of the key fob, watch my hand, it turns itself off. Now I am going to turn the remote start off because we're, there we go. We turned it off there. The reason I'm turning it off is we are indoors, and there are offices that share a ventilation system with this, so we just want to make sure they're not having that. But yeah, forward and backwards only, pretty good people obstacle detection. But again, you are responsible for your own vehicle, so hold that button until it's time to stop. The second you stop holding it, it will stop. But just be careful with it. It's a pretty cool system. All right, so yeah, don't want to gas out my boss. Actually, Tim's gone. Well, yeah, I know the actual owner of the dealership has the office right next to this thing, so I don't like when he gets gassed out. He might not sign my check, which would be a problem. All right. I don't see a ton of questions in here, so we're going to move on from that. If I've missed your question, and it's possible that I did because there's a lot of conversation in here, but if I missed your question, feel free to ask it again if you'd like. And again, we're searching for about 80 likes, so we got about 31 to go. That's a long ways to go. So a lot of you if everybody here hits the like button, we'll probably have 100 likes right now. So if you want to have some fun and watch like a whole bunch of people join, if 80 people hit the like button at the same time, a whole bunch more people will join. I promise you it'll happen. You can watch the stats. So if you all want to do that, you want to test it out, now's your chance to test that out. All right, we're going to unlock the vehicle again. We're going to jump in the back seat. Somebody said the other day, Seltos versus Tucson, they were comparing Kia Seltos. And because we often compare Seltos and Sportage. The new Tucson is much longer than the old Tucson, and it's a different class of vehicle. So most of that length is right here in the back seat. So we're going to unlock the door again, and we're going to hop in here. And as we do that, you're going to see some of this length. Now, remember that seat. When I got in, it moved forward to where I was. So this is further back than me at 6 feet would need. As we jump in here, headroom is no problem at all. The seat is way too upright for me, so we're going to fix that by reclining it back and reclining it way back, reclining it way back. This is all the way back. That's too far back. And you can see the 60-40 split. The driver's side is the 40. Now I've got in a pretty comfortable spot here. Headroom is excellent because I've got that sunroof, but even beside the sunroof, headroom's really, really good. And again, let's check out the legroom and knee room. So legroom, I'm flush on the seat. That really matters to me. Tesla doesn't do this right. Everybody wants a Tesla. Everybody loves a Tesla. Until they get the Tesla, they throw an adult in the back seat and their legs are up like this on so many of their cars. I don't know why they do that. They don't have any need to do that. They can design their own cars any way they want. Hyundai gets that right. Kia gets that right. Legs are flush on the seat in the rear. And then again, this seat is further back than I would need. It's probably about 3-4 inches further back than I would need. But even a 6-footer sitting behind a 6-footer, tons of room back here. A couple other things you're going to like in this car. You've got vents right here. So 2 ports, a pocket in the back of both seats, plastic back seats. If you've got kids, they stay clean. And then over here, my favorite feature, one of our commenters likes it when I call it rump roasters. They're off, car's off right now, so we've got rump roasters, and they work really well. 2 levels of seat heating in the seat bottom. Again, ignore some of the shipping plastic in here. You can see that's obviously not the vehicle. Somebody says put a pillow on the Tesla seat. Seriously, Teslas are not cheap cars. You shouldn't have to buy a pillow to make yourself comfortable in a car like that. I'm just saying, designers, they could do this better. And Kia and Hyundai do it really well. So you don't need to bring a pillow with you just to be normal comfortable. All right, pop the trunk. There's a couple ways to pop the trunk. You saw me do it on the key fob here by holding that button there. I can also set up the smart trunk. So what I could do if I did that is I could approach the vehicle while it's locked, just stand here. You don't have to wave your foot underneath. You can just stand here. It senses the proximity of the key and it can raise that tailgate just by me standing here. It'll blink 5 times in 3 seconds and raise it all up. We did it just the other day on a video. I haven't set this car up like that. So what I'm going to do is, or I could just touch the button there to open it, but what I'm going to do is going to hold this. Now, a lot of you guys ask me, and I always forget to mention, if you have a low garage, low ceiling, something, and that's going to hit and be too high for you, you can easily set it to be lower. So again, you might need a taller garage to open this up, but you can just set it to hang a little bit lower and no issues. And when I say you can set it lower, keep in mind again, I'm 6 feet tall. Whoops, come on, flip over here, camera. I'm 6 feet tall. There's quite a bit of room here. I know it doesn't look like much, like it looks like there's only a couple inches, but I mean, I'm probably, tippy toes I still can't even touch, and I got big size 11 feet. So there's a lot of height there. There's a lot of room to move it lower and have room even in your garage without hitting your head or anything like that. Back here, we've got the cargo blind that I really like to see. Further back, but the reason it's back where it is right now is because remember I reclined this seat a long ways back? When I recline it all the way back, it can go here. If you're not going to recline it quite that far, keep it sort of where it is. It's a comfortable spot. This can be moved forward and you can put it there. Underneath the floor here, you do have an option to, see a little square underneath there on the far right of your screen, center of your screen? You can mount that cargo blind underneath the floor there if you want, and you can also lower this floor. Now, I usually lower this floor to give it immense trunk space. This time I'm not going to do that because even with this, the least possible, so just let me, maybe I will do it. Take these out for a second. So big long trunk floor, but I want to get more depth in here. You do this, you do that, and now you've got a trunk floor. So I was going to leave it up, but why don't we leave it down? It's actually a larger trunk by volume than the Santa Fe, which is pretty cool. So Santa Fe being a bigger vehicle. And again, the reason you might want to lower that floor is when you use that cargo blind with, let's say larger items in the rear, things with large bellies. This is my teddy bear test. I use this on most of our videos, and the reason I do this is, again, my regulars have heard this 100 times. If I was just to fill your screen with the trunk, you would have no idea if it's a large trunk or a small trunk. This one you can see it's a double teddy bear trunk, easy, 2 teddy bears. The big thing is, if I was to have it in the upper position, Teddy's belly would actually rub that cargo blind, and that cargo blind, again, just a privacy cover, comes down here, goes up there, keeps Teddy covered. But again, if you had something like hard luggage, something that doesn't squish quite like teddy bear, you may need to lower the floor to be able to keep it under that cargo blind, and you can keep it under that cargo blind. So let's just take teddy bear out again. I'm gonna put the mats back in on this car, so don't forget to put them in. And then I wanna show you one last thing. Whoop. Sorry about that, I almost hit my camera with those mats. Okay, terrible camera work. All right, the other thing I wanna show you is closing this. No, there was something I wanted to show you that I totally slipped my mind. Oh boy. I'm sure it was very good, guys. All right, we're gonna close that down. You can close it there. Touch the button and it closes down. I was gonna say something very profound and I totally forgot what it was. All right, maybe it'll come back to me. Hybrid or plug-in hybrid better? Great question, I'll answer that in a second. Let's turn the lights on here for a second. We'll show you lighting. And then we'll move out and go back to your questions. We got 102 people on. To all those 102 people, we're looking for 80 likes today. So I got about 18 likes. If any of 103 people on right now feel like hitting the like button, let's see if we can get to 80. Out here on the front, your headlights are actually down here. A lot of people talk about these fancy lights being your headlights, but your headlights are actually down here. They are some of the best ones you can get. These sort of, the style there is some of the best that they make in the Kia Hyundai lineup. These lights here are your daytime running lights. They actually dim at night, so they're less bright. Sometimes on some cameras they'll flicker, but it's very cool. So again, they look a little dimmer now. When the headlights are off, they are quite bright white. It gives this car a really unique look that doesn't film very well, but you have this sort of smoked out gray look along with that white light, and it looks pretty sharp. And again, when you're taking a look at how these lights actually work, check out that nice sharp cutoff. That is what you want to see. Really bright light that's not in the eyes of anyone else, so sharp cutoff there. And then the other thing that makes this car look kind of more upper class than it is these lights here. They have a real 3D kind of look to them in person. And again, really unimpressive on camera, kind of impressive in person, just a really sharp look. Lower trim levels have a red trim across here that looks like a light but isn't. Higher trim levels have the actual lit up piece there. I know what I was going to show you on the back earlier that I was really smart. Your rear wiper is up this spoiler. Instead of sitting down here, and in Canada that really matters because your rear defrost will melt snow and ice when you're going to work, and then the water will sit there and freeze again as soon as you're parked. And as soon as you get, want to use your rear wiper, you rip off your rear wiper blade. Now it's up out of the snow and ice, so it's not collecting snow and ice on there. It's hidden. It looks cleaner. It looks cooler. This logo, for whatever reason, is flush behind the glass as well. But it's a real advantage to that wiper keeping it lit. There's a way to just easily change the settings, so you can bring it down to change the wiper itself if you wanted to, clean things off. But yeah, very cool system there that I really quite like. And a lot of people don't know this, but if you want to defrost your mirrors, turn on your rear defrost and your mirrors will defrost. So just want to make sure I clarify that. All right, well, for whatever reason, we're stuck on likes today. We have half of our audience is saying, we had 120 people on, only about 70 likes. So half our audience is saying, nope, you're not worth a like today. But to see how we jumped from 80 to 120, that's because you all hit the like at the same time. So we were trying to get to 80 likes. We'll get there. All right, just going through now here, trying to see your questions. If I missed your question in the past in this video, earlier in the comments, there's a lot of comments in there. So go ahead and ask your questions now, and I'll try to get that. Is there a cover for the massive sunroof? Yeah, we showed that earlier. Why don't I just close it really quickly? We showed it earlier in the video, but I'll show you right here. Good question. Let's just, maybe it's, how do we film this easily? Let's do it like that. So there's the thing. You hit the sunroof switch. We're going to close it down, and you will see the entire sunroof closes. I really like it open. I get it. Some people like it closed. Some people think this reflects sound, whereas this, of course, doesn't. So maybe a little bit quieter with that. But yeah, once you get in here with that closed, you don't see the sunroof at all. As soon as you open it, you have a lot more light coming in. So it depends on what you want. There's absolutely a cover there. So good question. Oops, I turned the car off, so that's why it stopped. All right. Well, you can also stop that cover at any point you want. So 2022 Sportage, yes, that 2022 Sportage is going to be introduced in the United States about a week from now. Our Kia rep was here, and we don't know when the 2023-ish, actually, Sportage, what we're talking about, the next generation Sportage. We don't have Canadian details yet. As soon as we have it, we'll have it on this channel. So that's another reason to subscribe. What else we got here? How long to charge the battery? This is not a plug-in hybrid, so it just charges itself. Drive it like a regular normal car, fill it with gas, and enjoy the fuel efficiency. We'll explain how hybrids work in another video, but if you're getting a hybrid, just drive it like a normal car, service it like a normal car, off you go, and just enjoy spending a third or more or less on fuel. And the PHEV, how long does it take to charge? That I don't have at the top of my head. I'll have to get that spec out. I don't have it memorized. Demo of the HD radio, please. Yep, we'll show you that. HD radio data in a second. Off-topic question, you're hearing about the next Forte coming. Yeah, I should see the next Forte next month. What else we got here? Okay, Tucson equals Kia what? Tucson would equal the Kia Sportage, but not today. So this Tucson does not equal the current Kia Sportage, but there's a next generation coming that will be introduced online in about a week. I think next Wednesday, it'll be introduced in the American website and then American social media. And then we'll see that work its way to Canada probably by the spring. And again, if you want to see that, I'm going to the LA Auto Show. We'll cover it there. HD radio data, somebody asked for that, so let's do that. Any idea of the availability of EV6 availability? EV6 in Canada, or Ioniq 5, watch my 5-7-minute video. You can order the EV6 tomorrow at noon. So I just put a video up this morning. Just search our channel for that EV6 ordering information. You'll see that. Okay, HD radio data. Somebody asked about this earlier and I didn't show it. So let's just go to show the HD radio data. I don't remember where it is here. HD radio data. There we go. HD radio data is right there. Again, ignore the, let's just make the glare better. This plastic is not helping us at all. There we go. A little bit better. So we can do Doppler radar if you wanted to. It says no rain in the area. Rain has passed by, which is probably true. Actually, this is actually not quite lined up with us because we are indoors where it's kind of insulated from where we are. HD traffic data. There's HD traffic data. So yeah, and fuel prices in the area as well. It's just going to find us, and there we go. Closest station is $1.47. That's a lot right now. I drive an EV and I don't pay attention to gas prices a lot, but wow, that's $1.47 Canadian. It's liters per, it's not gallons, it's all different. So anyways, so yeah, there you go. HD radio data. You can search by brand, by fuel type, by favorites. You can search by all kinds of different things. So there's your HD radio data. Would assume at least 8+ years of battery warranty. Oh yeah, I feel like it's 7 years. Is it 8 years? You guys are better at this than I do. It is a longer battery on hybrid components than on regular vehicles. So I think it's 160 or 130,000 kilometers. I don't have this memorized, guys. Go to the Hyundai website to check out warranty stuff. I should know this better, but when we do these live videos, sometimes I forget to just refresh my memory, and I've researched so many cars in a day, and I've been focusing on Kia stuff, so I just want to make sure. But yes, hybrid components are warranted for longer, a couple years longer, I believe, 2 to 3 years longer, and more kilometers than regular gasoline components. And let's be clear, hybrids as a class are more reliable on average than the average electric car. So I think you have the states there. Yeah, so if you're quoting the states, I can't quote the states because I live in Canada. So can I show the rearview mirror range while you're in there? Rearview mirror range? I don't know. What do you mean? It's hard to show you because when you have a, that's different than the one eye of the camera. So I don't know how to show you the rear view mirror camera range. So we'll probably just not do that. I don't know how to do that. You'll have to explain to me later in a different video. All right. We have 127 people on live right now, and I don't want to hang up on you all, but we've gone over time. So if you want to see this vehicle back, we'll do our best to get it in here again. And, Tucson is the best. Hold on, there's a comment there that I just read, and somebody else asked me like hybrid or PHEV, which is better. PHEV is going to be more efficient. It's also going to cost more. PHEVs in this car adds more power again. So regular car, so much horsepower. Hybrid car, more horsepower. PHEV, more horsepower again. So just something to keep in mind, and also more efficiency each way. So all right, we are way over time, but here we go. We always go over lately. We always go over all the time. Tucson's the best SUV in 2022. How do you rate it? Small SUV. Yeah, I'll go with that. In this class, the knock against it is the lower trim level doesn't have as much power as some of the other ones, which I'm going to be very honest with you, doesn't bother the average person. It's very good for the lower trim power. This trim itself, yeah, that's a pretty good car. I think it's a pretty good value, but you guys can decide how you want to spend your money, and I don't want to spend it for you. So there we go. Gone over time. 120 people on. Last chance to leave a like. We got to 88. We can get to 100 if you all hit it, but it's up to you guys. I want to thank everyone for joining us. We will be back tomorrow. So tomorrow we're going to do another hybridish type thing. Kia Soul EV versus the Kia Niro EV versus the Kia Niro PHEV. And we're going to do that exactly 2 hours after EV6 ordering goes live in Canada. So lots going on tomorrow as well. We're going to stay on that hybrid theme. If you want to know more about plug-in hybrids, go back one day. We talked about the Sorento and the Niro plug-in hybrid. We've also talked about the Santa Fe plug-in hybrid. A lot of that is up recently. So there we go. Which model is this? This is just the regular hybrid, but the top of the line in Canada, we call it the ultimate video. So someone said thank you for your videos, and thanks for watching. I really appreciate you guys hanging in. So we'll talk to you all again tomorrow, and